Hello and welcome back to StreamBlue.com.
In this lecture, we're going to learn about the very important topic called abstraction. So what is abstraction? Abstraction in Java is the process of hiding implementation details from the user. Only the functionality will be provided to the user. Example of abstraction is pushing the button in your elevator. So what that basically means is abstraction is you're kind of abstracting the implementation details from the user. So only the functionality will be provided to the user. For instance, let's say you go to the elevator, right? So let's say you want to go to the 7th floor, and you just press the button 7. You don't need to know how the 7 button, when you press the 7 button, how it works, right? How, like, what happens inside the elevator. You do not need to know that, right? You just need to press the 7 button. So that's the easiest example of abstraction, right? So an abstraction in Java is basically kind of similar thing. You're kind of hiding the implementation details from the user, and you only provide the functionality. So abstraction in Java can be achieved using abstract classes and interfaces. Okay, so what is abstract class? Abstract class is a class that is declared abstract. So just like we in our previous lecture, right, we were able to create a lot of different classes, right? We created parent class, child class, and so on. So in order to create an abstract class, you have to actually say abstract. You have to declare it abstract. The key features of abstract methods are the abstract method may or may not contain abstract methods, right? So when you create an abstract class, it may or may not contain abstract methods. It means by abstract methods is you have a method name, but you do not have anything inside the method. Okay, it's empty. And any abstract method in the class would require the class to be declared abstract. So basically what that means is if you create an abstract method, right, then you have to also declare the class to be abstract. When you have an abstract method inside the class, that means your class is also an abstract. It means that you have to declare the class to be abstract. If you inherit an abstract class, you have to provide implementation to all the abstract methods in it. Okay, so what that means is with abstract class, you cannot create an object. That is another important feature of abstract class. You cannot create an object. However, you can extend, you can inherit. The child class can inherit abstract class, and in the child class, you can also call the abstract methods and provide the implementation. You have to inherit from another class if you want to use an abstract class and provide implementation. So basically what that means is, like I said, you cannot create an object from the abstract class. What you can do is the child class can actually inherit the abstract class, and your child class can have the details, like implementation details for the abstract method. For instance, let's take an example here. As you can see here, I have declared this class to be abstract. How do I know? Because I have this abstract keyword in here. And I've got this two private variables, name and address. I've got this getter and setter methods for get name, set name, get address, set address. And now here, as you can see, I've got this abstract method. How do I know it's an abstract method? Because I said first it's an abstract. And inside here, get customer information, I do not have anything. Like in other methods, you would see a curly braces like this. Right? This does not have it. It just has the name, and you just end with this semicolon. Abstract method does not have implementation. The other thing that we learned here is if you have an abstract method in here, you have to declare the class to be abstract. So now if I try to actually inherit the method in here, right, the customer method, right, and I try to create an object, right, so I had an abstract class called customer, and I try to actually create an object, right, so when I do that, it's saying that customer is abstract, cannot be instantiated. I cannot actually instantiate this main abstract class in here. See, customer one, new customer. So customer is an abstract class, so I cannot instantiate. That means I cannot create an object. As soon as I say new customer, it's like when I run it, it's going to throw an error. So it's saying customer is abstract, cannot be instantiated. And I have this get name method in there, right? Abstract method in there, right? So you cannot do that. So what you can do is actually create another class. So I've got employee class in here, extends customer. So this employee is a child class of this parent class customer. And I've got string variable employee ID. And I have this getters and setters, set get employee ID, set employee ID. And I've got this get customer info, right? So I got the same method name here, right? Now, I'm also doing overriding. You see here it says override. Right? So I'm basically overriding that get customer info method in here. Right? So I have get customer info method in the customer abstract class. So basically I'm overriding that. Here I said public string get customer info, and here I've got this implementation inside this method here. And the abstract class did not have that, right? Basically it's saying string equal new string. the other thing I hear it's very cool about it is, see, this string is also a Java class, right? So basically I'm creating the object from this string class, right? You do not have to do that. You can just do string.format, but I was just trying to show you here. You could also create an object from this Java class. So I have string, a new string, string.format, and do string interpolation here. It's customer with this employee ID and address. So get name, get employee ID, and get address, right? So in get employee ID is actually from the employee, get address and get name is actually from the customer, right? So now if I have another method, other class in here, and I got the main method, so now I can say employee1 equal new employee, right? So this is the child class here. I can instantiate. That means I can create an object. This employee class extends or inherits the abstract class, right? So now employee1 equal new employee, set name. So I'm setting name to Sarah, I'm setting the address, employee ID. So when I do employee1 get customer information, I get this value in here. So that's basically what the abstract method does, right? So basically the abstract method, you normally use it, right, to have, let's say, in your program, you're going to have this class, abstract class, okay? So you're going to have this common class, and it will have common methods that you want all the programmers to use, right? So you created the abstract class and you create a method in here without any implementation details. Now the other programmers can extend to that abstract class and use those methods. So with that, right, you're basically telling the user, hey, these are the methods, okay, and these are the variables, okay, I want you guys to use those methods and those variables. Since that method is an abstract class, you cannot create an object. However, for your classes, right, you can definitely inherit from the abstract class. So that is about the abstract class. So let's actually go our IntelliJ here. I'm actually going to create a package in here. So I'm going to actually say abstraction. So here I'm going to new Java class. All right. So first thing I'm actually going to do is create a customer. So if you go in here, right, so I got this class in here. I'm just going to do class, and I'm going to say abstract class. All right. So, oops, I was trying to call it customer, so I'll actually rename it. So if you want to rename the file name, what you can do is you can actually click here, right click, refactor, and rename. So in here, I'm actually going to name it customer. All right, and do refactor. So now it's changed to customer. So now here, I'm actually going to create a new variable string name, private string address. And I'm going to create a getter and setter methods in here. So I'm going to use the IntelliJ shortcut. Go right click and generate. And I'm going to create getter and setters for both. Alright, so I've got this getter and setters. So I'm actually going to create an abstract method here. So I'm actually going to say public abstract. Let's say string. It's going to return, this abstract method is going to return a string. I'm going to say get customer info. Okay, so here it's just an abstract method. So as soon as I have an abstract method here, say it's throwing an error here, class customer must either be declared abstract or implement abstract method get customer in customer. Alright, so I'm actually going to do abstract class in here. So now I'm actually going to create employee class. Okay, so this basically extends, inherits the customer. In here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do private string employee ID. So I'm going to actually create a getter and setters. So I got this getter and setters. So I'm actually going to use method, right? Let's do string get customer info. Alright, so you can see here, right? As soon as I do that, as soon as I do that here, it's saying is implemented in employee, right? So here I can say that. So let's see here, abstract class customer, right? So go back in here, and in here I'm actually going to say return string dot format, and in here I'm actually going to say customer. I'm going to say S and employee ID. Also it's a string and address like that, and I'm going to say here get name, get employee ID, get address. Alright, So now, as you can see here, right, it's saying that, okay, I got this customer info, right? And some places, what you can actually do is you can use this override, right? So what basically that means is you're actually overriding this get customer info, but since IntelliJ is smart enough, you don't have to do that, but some other IDE, you might have to do this. So right now, let me do that just saying I'm overriding this get customer information method, abstract method here. So now let's actually create another class in here. I'm actually going to say abstraction example. Okay, so in here, I'm actually going to do public static void main string args. In here, I'm actually going to say employee1 equal new employee. So here, first, right, I'm actually going to need to set it. I'm going to do employee1 set employee ID, like that. Oops, I forgot here. Employee ID and employee1 dot set name equal, let's say, Johnny. All right, employee1 dot set address equal, let's say, 476 Houston Avenue, Los Angeles, VA 98210, something like that. So you got the set address now. Let's do system.out.println. I'm going to say employee1 get customer info, and here run this, and right here it says customer equal Johnny, employee ID 1233, address 4176 Houston Avenue, Los Angeles, CA 98210. So here, basically what I did is I actually created the object from this child class, and I was able to use the method set name, set address, which was in the parent class, set employee ID, which was in the child class, and also set the address. Right? So you're actually using this get customer information, which is the abstract method, right? So this customer had this get customer information, but it did not have any implementation. It only had the method name, right? It had the signature. It did not have the details, right? So you can have n number of abstract methods. Then you can also, so once you have that, you can actually override those abstract methods for your method. So let's give another example in here. I'm actually going to try to create customer1 equal new customer. So as soon as I do that, right, giving you a red scribbly line here. So if I run this, it's actually saying that this customer is abstract. You cannot instantiate, right? You cannot create an object from the abstract class. However, you can create a child class that can actually inherit this customer class, right? Then you can create the object from this child class. So that's pretty much about the abstract class. So I hope you guys understood what abstract class is. I'll see you guys in our next lecture.